Good evening and welcome to the Schumacher Racing League Blaze Designs Cup Series. Here tonight, we are at the Iowa Speedway for the Newton 200 for the first round of the playoffs. So, we got a very interesting type of playoff for the Schumacher Racing League Blaze Designs Cup Series. Let me get this off the screen. So instead of having something like a NASCAR playoff format where it's everyone going against each other, we have matchups for each round. So the matchups are they'll be displayed scrolling on the bottom of your screen from time to time. But the current matchup is James Thurston versus Sean Rowe, Riley Marabello, who we're looking at right now, versus Nicholas Martinez Jr., Wyatt Roberts versus Henry Kaloff, James Bomar versus Caleb McKinney, Cole Denton versus Adam Boyles, Van Drummond versus Joseph Lewis, Sam Brochu versus Andretti Robinson, my mistake, and Evan Allen versus Dominic Barbagallo. So we got something to talk about a lot during this race here at Iowa. 0.85 miles in length. We got 200 laps here. Variable banking in the corners, so multiple lines work, so expect to see a lot of multi-groove racing. That's what makes Iowa so much fun. But the first round of the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, is Iowa, Watkins Glen, and Talladega. So a wide variety of tracks in, especially the lottery that is Talladega, and the decider for who advances through these battles, or matchups, as it's better to say, is who has the best finishes out of the three races. So if you finish better in two races out of three than your opponent, then you win the matchup and advance into the next round. Sort of like how NCAA does it with March Madness. Actually, that's a lie. Not that way. More like NBA and the NBA Finals and the NBA playoffs, where they have series. So let's see if anyone is on track at the moment. Van Drummond is out doing laps right now. Would be nice if there was like a playoff indicator, but that would be pretty difficult to get working with the ticker. But we got a minute left in qualifying right now, so let's look at the weather. So the current weather, it is 71 degrees here in Newton, Iowa, with winds blowing southwest at 4 miles per hour, and it is partly cloudy over the track right now. So we might have some cloud cover over certain parts, making it cooler. So that might play a difference. It looks like some of the clouds might be covering parts of turns 1 and 2. So it'll be a little more grippy compared to the exit of turns 1 and 2. So definite point of interest right there. But this playoff format was made so that there's always at least something going on. And let me get this out of the way because no point in seeing it anymore. As we look at Michael Deitch doing his laps but qualifying is just about to end. So let's go through your starting lineup. Starting on pole is the number 98 of Sam Brochu. And on his outside is the number 86 of Juan Escamilla. Very strong qualifying effort from him. Starting in third in the inside of row 2 is Van Drummond in the number 2 with Blaze McKinney on his outside. Starting in row 3 is Riley Marabell in the 16 with James Bomar next to him. In row number 4 is Evan Allen in the 50 with Cole Denton on his outside. Aaron Schugel starts in 9th place, and rounding out your top 10 qualifiers is Dominic Barbagallo. Give me one moment. Starting in row number 6 on the inside is Andretti Robinson in the 60 with Jonathan T. Baker on his outside. On row 7 is Traber C. Burns in the 02 with Henry Kaloff on his outside. On the inside of row number 8 is Caleb McKinney with Joseph Lewis in the number 28 on the outside of row number 8. Starting on the inside of row number 9 is Nicholas Martinez Jr. in the number 48 with Aiden McNeely on his outside. Sean Rowe starts in row number 10, and rounding out your top 20 qualifiers is Logan Hasper in the 036. On the inside of row 11 is Amir Bascombe with Wyatt Roberts on his outside. And then your final row, row number 12, Michael Deitch in the number 57 and the 168 of Bo Krebs. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle. Didn't really do anything. We'll just have it like that for right now. But I lied. It was not 200 laps. It is 160 laps. But 160 laps here. No fast repairs. I have joined practice late, so I don't know how so I didn't get a good feel of how the car is handled. But I presume that with tracks like these, they tend to be pretty loose on exit. So what I'm predicting is that we're going to have a little bit of cautions, and then we're going to have a long green flag run, maybe 1 or 2 pit cycles. Similar to what we had at Phoenix. So it looks like everyone has gridded up except for Bo Krebs in the 168. So he will not start this race. So we have 23 cars in the field right now. Pretty average size for the SRL. So I can't complain about field size at all. I like a big field. But playoff implications are now definitely a thing now that the playoffs are in full effect and everyone's going up against each other. Waiting for the pace car to pull into pit lane. Pace car is in. Green flag is out for Sam Brochu and Juan Escamilla. Both of them get about an equal start. None with a very clear advantage, but Brochu has the advantage entering the corner, and will ride that bottom lane and slides up in front of Escamilla. So Sam Brochu in the lead with no one to challenge him right now, as Blaze McKinney's running the outside looking to mount a run off the corner. And Sam Brochu will lead the first lap. Van Drummond in P4 looking to the inside of Blaze McKinney, as Juan Escamilla trying to get something working on the top side, can't get it done. Single foul for these top 4 drivers. But Van Drummond's hungry on that inside lane. To McKinney's quarter panel, but McKinney has the better run out of the corner and will clear Drummond. Drummond will have to try another time, as McKinney slides down to the bottom. Season opening on Escamilla. Can't get anything done, though, as a little bit farther in the back, I believe that is Riley Marabello to the inside of Cole Denton, and caution is out. So let's get a replay on that real quick. Please stand by for just one moment. Apologize for the delay. So we're looking at Logan Hasper right now in that wonderful looking Marcus Ambrose car to the inside of Joseph Lewis on turn 2, and looks like he got a little loose and tried to keep it away from Michael Deitch in the 57, and that's a hard hit into the outside wall for Logan Hasper on lap number 3. So tough break for Mr. Hasper, but Iowa giveth and Iowa taketh, and Iowa definitely taketh with that. Probably gonna be off the pace for a little bit, but that's what's to expect from these short tracks. These cars are tough to drive around tracks that you constantly have to wheel the car around. Let's see if I can get a better camera angle this time. And that's good enough. Okay, pace car lights are off, and it looks like Sam Brochu is going to choose the outside line, so Blaze McKinney is going to be leading the inside line. So maybe Sam Brochu feels more comfortable running the top instead of running the bottom. As I think this is a better angle. Shows more stuff going on and isn't as zoomed in. Dominic Barbagallo has made his way almost into the top 5 with that white and yellow car. Kind of hard to see the number on that. But anyways, pace car is in, waiting for Sam Brochu on the outside to start. Green flag is out in the air. Sam Brochu with a good start clears Blaze McKinney. Blaze McKinney not able to get the jump that Brochu is able to have, and Brochu takes a pretty solid lead entering turns 1 and 2. As the field fans out, that's 3 wide back there. I think that was Sean Rowe in the midst of that 3 wide action. But Sam Brochu, no one to challenge him right now, as he has about a 3 car length lead over Blaze McKinney. Going back to Dominic Barbagallo on the inside of Jonathan T. Baker, trying to get something done on the inside line, but Baker has the run on the outside as there's smoke on the front stretch for some reason. But no caution just yet, as that's Cole Denton in the 46 nearly hitting the wall. But still side by side for Dominic Barbagallo. Now he has to deal with Henry Kaloff in the 63 running that outside line. Baker has cleared Barbagallo, but it looks like they are starting to single file right now as the 60 of Andretti Robinson dives to the inside of Evan Allen in the 50, as we have 3 wide between Aaron Schugel. We had 3 wide for a second between Aaron Schugel, Sean Rowe, and Caleb McKinney, as McKinney's running really high up. But let's go back to second place as Van Drummond is all over the back end of Blaze McKinney on the inside of James Bomar. Drummond looking to get a run on the inside of McKinney, but McKinney shuts the door. Bomar running all the way up top, trying to maximize the run off the corner. Pulls up alongside Drummond, but McKinney cuts him off and boxes him in. Good defensive work by McKinney, who's having to manage the lines behind him, almost like it's a plate track. And Drummond still on the inside of Bomar. These two have not given up. A little bit of a loose moment from Drummond, and now Bomar switches over to the inside, and McKinney lets him by. And now Drummond muscles his way to the bottom of the 87. The 87 had to give just a little bit, had to move up, or else risk being tapped a little bit. But now McKinney trying to play defense from that number 2 of Van Drummond, as it looks like he's clear, and Drummond just able to slot in between him and Juan Escamilla. And now Cole Denton to the inside of Escamilla, but can't get anything done since the run off the corner is just very, very strong. Van Drummond trying to get a run off the corner, looking to the inside of Blaze McKinney. He's there side by side, entering turn 1 for position number 3. Oh, a little bit of contact between the 2 and the 87. Sends the 87 up the track, and the 2 is now passed. I don't know if the 2 drifted up a little bit, but certainly contact was made. Now Cole Denton looking to the inside of Juan Escamilla, maybe trying to get a 2-piece by getting past McKinney as well. He's gone past Escamilla, but McKinney clears himself from the 46, and that run off the top is just very powerful. As it looks like Denton got a little loose on the bottom, and now Escamilla looking to clear himself from that 46, as this brings Henry Kaloff into the mix. And Cole Denton relinquishes the position to Henry Kaloff, maybe trying to get something going on that top lane, as now Juan Escamilla is stuck on the bottom. And Henry Kaloff is on the move right now, currently up to 5th place, as Cole Denton is close to getting past Juan Escamilla. And Cole Denton might just get past Henry Kaloff, as I had a brain fart seeing Van Drummond peek to the inside of James Bomar, both side by side for 2nd place, entering turn 3. Van Drummond with the advantage on the inside line, and Van Drummond goes up to block, but maybe a crossover move from the 20. Nope, maybe a little tap to let him know that Bomar is there and to not try that again. But for right now, Drummond is in P2, so good job from Van Drummond. So multiple different lines being used, as that's Riley Marabello all over the place on the bottom. No caution called, as looks like it was off the racing surface with a singular car. But now Blaze McKinney to the inside of Bomar. Can't get it done. Lights just turned on here at Iowa. Blaze McKinney dives it to the bottom, gets a nose in, side by side through turns 3 and 4. But Bomar has the advantage over McKinney, as Cole Denton looking to the outside of McKinney, trying to make an interesting move, had a back off right at the end. Now Bomar in front of a battle between Blaze McKinney and Cole Denton. Looks like McKinney's getting a little bit loose up top. Side by side for position number 4. These two cars are dead even, as Juan Escamilla might have had something happen. as he's lost a bunch of positions. But the 87 and 46 still side by side, and the caution is finally out for Logan Hasper, who is sitting backwards right now. Not the direction you want to be in. So let's get a replay on that real quick. So looking at Logan Hasper coming out of turns 3 and 4. Looks like he just gassed it up a little too much on exit. And that back end swung around right in front of, I think that's Aiden McNeely in the right in front of him. That I did not mean to go to him. What the heck? Sorry about that. But yeah, Hasper just got it all twisted around, was sliding down the entirety of the front straight. And what happened to make him point the other way? Oh, he just gassed it up to spin the car around and bring out a caution. So maybe a little bit of chicanery from Logan Hasper, but no harm, no foul. Oh, sorry if you had to see the iRacing UI. It appears that Logan Hasper has been disqualified. So, not a very admirable performance from Mr. Hasper. But sometimes those things happen. Sometimes we all have off days. But currently under caution, and let me get this off your screen. Nicholas Martinez is currently the leader, as he's the only car to stay out. And everyone else, except for Aiden McNeely, pit. And Aiden McNeely stayed out just to get the wave around. But I think Nicholas Martinez stayed out to get a lap led under caution. So he's going to drop to the back. And Sam Brochu is going to take back the lead. Looks like Blaze McKinney made up a couple of spots on pit road as he's back into second place. 27 out of 160 laps have already gone by relatively quickly. Feels like it just started. Well, I mean, if you think about it, it really did. The laps are about 25 seconds. So, yeah. But let's see. I think everyone who is still battling for the playoffs is still on track. Riley Mirabello having a bad start to his playoffs. He's the only car one lap down. He spun a couple of times during their green flag run. Only car one lap down, and his opponent is Nicholas Martinez Jr. Something pretty important that I noticed was that James Thurston did not show up, so maybe he had real life obligations, but luckily it is the best finish from 2 out of 3 races. So basically any safety cushion that James Thurston had over Sean Rowe is effectively eliminated. But Sam Brochu chooses the outside line for the choose cone. Pace truck is about to pull into pit lane, and we're about to go green once more. Green flag is out. Nice start by Brochu. The field stacks up just a little bit. Looks like Brochu clears himself from Van Drummond, and now Blaze McKinney looking to hook the outside line to get to the outside of that number 2. It looks like he doesn't have the momentum just yet, as Sam Brochu continues his lead, but now he's going to be under heavy fire from Van Drummond in that number 2 car, as the field starts to thin out just a little bit. Cole Denton in the 46 on that outside line, under attack from the number 20 of James Bomar. But Van Drummond still all over the back end of Sam Brochu, as Cole Denton making that outside line work. He's gone to the outside of Blaze McKinney to get into 3rd place for the time being, but still not clear of McKinney just yet, as Drummond almost makes a move to the inside of Brochu. Battle for the lead here, as Blaze McKinney looks to the inside of Cole Denton. Can't get anything done. Looks like Cole Denton is really good at running that middle lane. But I bet Sam Brochu doing a lot of mirror driving right now probably, as Van Drummond looks to the inside, peeks out, just doesn't have the space right now. But very close racing, very clean racing up front right now, as Van Drummond trying to craft a way around Sam Brochu, as maybe Sam Brochu is feeling the pressure a little bit, run a little bit higher, maybe to try and disincentivize the bottom lane being run, as it seems like the middle lane is the way to go. As the caution comes out, I have to see who is for. So while the field slows down, let's go to a replay real quick. So looking at Evan Allen right now, who's in the playoffs, going through turns 3 and 4. Looks like the car just got a little bit too much rotation, and he tried to keep it off of Juan Escamilla. To his credit, he did. And then that is Traber Burns on his outside trying to get around him. And it looks like, yeah, Evan Allen just overcorrected, and unfortunate choice of positioning for Traber Burns, but nothing that he could do. He thought that the 50 was going to slide down more, and the 50 overcorrected right into the 0-2's path, as Jonathan Baker slaps the wall a little bit. Close moment. Ooh, contact between the 36 and the 50. Jonathan Baker hit the back of the 50 with quite considerable force on the left front. So we're going to have to see how much that affects Jonathan Baker, as Evan Allen was slow, and I don't think that Baker or Wyatt Roberts really expected that closing speed. So unfortunate for Traber Burns and Jonathan Baker, caught up in other people's mess, as we're about to approach a quarter of the way through. As it's Jonathan Baker, it looks like he didn't get irreversible damage. Just barely comes out ahead of the pace car to avoid being lapped. But Riley Marabello did get the lucky dog, so he will make it back onto the lead lap after spinning a couple times. So I think we're 3 cautions in on lap 37 out of 160. So still got a couple more. Still got a couple more laps as Jonathan Baker goes 1 lap down. Looks like he had to get more repairs done and decided that the sacrifice of a lap was worth it. He could probably get it back soon. Trevor Burns also goes a lap down. Looks like he spent a lot of that time getting damage repaired. As I think Aiden McNeely and Jonathan Baker are running the same paint scheme. That is not confusing at all. I thought that they looked familiar, or that they looked similar. Turns out they were identical. Pace car lights are off. We are 1 to green for our 4th restart of the day at Iowa. So we're averaging about a caution every 10 laps. Or caution every 12 laps, 13 laps, one of the two. Hopefully we can get a nice green flag running and maybe some pit strategy. But the name of the game here is tire wear. It's very easy if you run up top to burn off that right rear and make that car very, very loose. And Sam Brochu on the outside is going to lead the field to yet another restart. Base truck is in. Green flag is out. Nice restart by Brochu. Drummond did not get as good of a start. I mean, Cole Denton to Drummond's outside and going to stick on his outside for the first part of the corner, but Drummond eventually clears himself from the 46. And now Drummond can try to work on the 98 of Brochu. Blaze McKinney looking to throw it 3 wide all the way up top. It's like couldn't get anything going, as that's Sean Rowe in 5th under fire from James Bomar. Cole Denton to the outside of Van Drummond, trying to get a little bit of help from Blaze McKinney. Can't get it done. Van Drummond shuts the door as James Bomar clears himself from Sean Rowe as the field single file mostly right now. But Blaze McKinney looking to the inside of Cole Denton. Oh, Cole Denton almost came off the wall, but no contact made between the two. Cole Denton holding strong on that middle lane side by side for 3rd place through the curved front stretch, but Blaze McKinney's going to have the advantage entering the corner on that inside line. It's going to slide up right in front of Cole Denton. So Blaze McKinney now in 3rd place. Now has to work on Van Drummond, who right now is working on quite possibly the fastest car in the field right now, Sam Brochu. That last lap by Sam Brochu, a 23.696, fastest lap of the race. But Van Drummond looking to the inside of Brochu. He's got the run off the corner. Brochu pinching Drummond down just a little bit, but gives him enough room, and that run off the corner will clear himself from the 2. So the 2 will have to try again sometime. Blaze McKinney running a little bit high. Cole Denton can't take advantage of it. Van Drummond still all over the back end of Sam Brochu. Brochu has led, I believe, every lap of the race so far. But looks like everything has mostly singled out right now. Just close front, nose to tail racing as Cole Denton looking to the outside of Blaze McKinney. Can't get anything done and has to slot in behind McKinney once more. Cole Denton is running that high line very effectively, but it makes me wonder what it's going to do on his tires, as Van Drummond thought about making a dive to the inside line. Couldn't get there in time. But I tell you what, it looks like Drummond's having a very good drive off the corner as he dives to the inside of Sam Brochu. Side by side for the lead. Brochu holding on the outside line. Drummond is not clear just yet. Side by side entering turns 3 and 4. As I think Drummond will just barely clear Brochu. So new leader Van Drummond in the number 2. Now he'll have to try and pull away from Sam Brochu, which is a very tall task. So you have 2 wide in the back between, I believe that's James Bomar and Sean Rowe. But Sam Brochu all over the back end of Van Drummond, not easing up the pressure for one moment. So we go to the back, 3 wide almost between Henry Caloff, Sean Rowe, and Juan Escamilla. But looks like Sean Rowe is going to have the advantage. Almost made it onto the inside of James Bomar, trying any lane that he can get, any lane that was open to him. Running about half a lane up off the yellow line as Caloff looking to the inside, but Sam Brochu looks like he had a little bit of a loose moment entering the corner and slid back as Bomar scrapes the wall a little bit. Now under attack from the 99 of Sean Rowe. Side by side for these 2 drivers. Out of turn 2. Still side by side entering turn 3. Great racing here at Iowa. This track always delivers, as Cole Denton in front of them tries to make a move on Blaze McKinney. Looks like he's going to try to lunge it. Entering the corner, still side by side to the center of the corner, but I think McKinney's going to have the straighter exit, and he's going to hold him off for right now. As Bomar is running really high up. I don't know if he blew the corner or what, but he's going to get a great run and hold off about 3 cars, Caloff, Escamilla, and Sean Rowe. And Andretti Robinson has inserted himself into the mix. But Cole Denton to the inside of Blaze McKinney. These 2 drivers getting really close to each other. Not a lot of space given between the 46 and 87, but they're racing each other clean. It's hard racing, but it's clean racing. And Blaze McKinney making Cole Denton work for 3rd place. As Bomar gets really loose. Big loose moment from James Bomar. Nice save from that number 20. I saw that car dead sideways off the corner, but he kept it straight. Going to lose a couple of positions, as that's Caleb McKinney on the inside of Aaron Schugel for 11th position. Caleb McKinney not able to get past the 91, as there's a little bit of Iowa off-roading, but it looks like no harm done to anyone else. They got a little too aggressive on the gas bar out of the corner, but now Aaron Schugel to the inside of Nicholas Martinez. Martinez drifts up the track just a little bit, and that allows Marabello to cross over Martinez. So it looks like Martinez might have gotten a little bit of a wiggle through the center of the corner and lost a bunch of momentum on exit, as James Bomar looking all over the back end of Andretti Robinson in that number 60. Bomar running all the way up top. And it looks like it's paying dividends right now as he makes the charge on the outside line, side by side with the 60, entering turn 1. The 60 is still on his quarter panel, but that run off the corner is going to grant James Bomar the position. So James Bomar running a much higher line than most other drivers, but it looks like he's making it work. So whatever makes up positions, as Andretti Robinson tries to join up top, but looks like didn't gain any ground. I think there's a certain finesse that you got to drive it in up top. As Henry Kaloff looking to the outside, as we have a battle up front between Cole Denton, Sean Rowe, and Blaze McKinney. Blaze McKinney on the outside, Cole Denton on the inside. Sean Rowe looking to follow Cole Denton through, but still side by side down the back straight into turns 3 and 4. Oh, looks like McKinney got really loose up top. Had to concede the position to both Denton and Sean Rowe to avoid spinning into them. Nice save by that 87 car to not cause a big wreck. But I bet those tires are very heated up now. As let's go to the leader. Van Drummond has opened up about a half a second gap over Sam Brocher right now. Let's go to one of our playoff drivers, Riley Marabello, on the outside of Aaron Schugel. It looks like Aaron Schugel did not get a good corner and is going to be under attack from Dominic Barbagallo right now. But they're running so high that through the center of the corner, Schugel is able to make up some ground. But that run off the corner, that extra banking, helps with the momentum down the front stretch. As Barbagallo looks to the inside of Marabello. Marabello might have had a little bit of a wiggle through the center of the corner. And Barbagallo to the inside of Marabello. Looks like Schugel a little bit loose, a little wiggle. As let's go up front to Sean Rowe to the inside of Cole Denton. Both cars side by side, exiting the corner, still side by side. Sean Rowe might have done a better job than Cole Denton at saving his stuff, as Sean Rowe is slowly clawing his way through the field. Haven't seen any big loose moments from that number 99 very stable race car he's got right now. As he passes Cole Denton for third place and will now start working on the top two of Sam Brochu and Van Drummond. Oh, Blaze McKinney is around. I completely accidentally clicked on him. I meant to click on Henry Kaloff, but I went to Blaze McKinney as he was spinning. So, hold on for just one moment while we get a replay. Juanis came in with a little bit of contact, but it looks like nothing too big. So let me get a replay in just a second so we can get a better view of what is going on. A nice green flag run ended with Blaze McKinney in the opposite direction. Looks like Henry Kaloff was diving into the inside of McKinney, and McKinney just dove it in a little too hard on that outside line. And yeah, he got loose, corrected it, and then the car just snapped loose again. And when you're at this point, you're basically just a passenger. And synchronized spinning from the 86 as well. He was also getting loose. So not too much damage between the 86 and 87. If anything, maybe a couple of seconds in pit lane. But that does bring out the caution. Whoa, okay. Okay, I'm going to leave the UI open. What happened here? Blaze McKinney slowing down for pit lane, hits the pit barrels. That's, I apologize for showing the iRacing UI. but that was on complete accident while I was trying to get it out of slow motion mode. But Blaze McKinney has made contact with the pit barrels, and that right front is destroyed as he tries to pull it into his pit stop, and he pulls it off the track. I don't think he's too happy. But Traber C. Burns stays out. Looks like maybe to get a lap led or to get a wave around. I don't know if he was lapped or not, but he pulls into pit lane, and Van Drummond is your current pit lane leader. Looks like a little bit of trouble on pit lane for Sam Brochu as he falls all the way back to 7th place. So, or 6th place, my mistake. So he lost 4 positions on that pit stop. Looks like maybe not the best of stops from that 98 crew. But that will give 2nd place to Sean Rowe. And your top 5 currently is Van Drummond, Sean Rowe, Cole Denton, Henry Kaloff, and Dominic Barbagallo. Impressive run from Dominic Barbagallo at number 17 to be in the top 5 right around halfway. About 10 laps to halfway. Let's see if Blaze McKinney made any comment about his pit road issue. As yeah, he hasn't said anything just yet, but I'd be a little bit upset if that happened. I don't know the context in which it happened. I just saw contact with the pit barrels and a very damaged 87 car. But Van Drummond chooses the outside lane, so Sean Rowe's going to choose the inside. And Cole Denton, who is very strong on the outside line, will start on the outside as well.
Green flag, green flag, green
I
flag.
apologize for that. I did not know I was delayed. So I apologize for that. That was weird. But Van Drummond to the lead. Nice start by him. Got clear of Cole Denton and Sean Rowe. And now Sean Rowe looking to the inside of Cole Denton. Sam Brochu eager to get back to the back end of Van Drummond, is going to try to claw his way through the field. He got past Brochu, who ran up just a little bit high, and now Brochu has to, or past Bomar, who ran up high. Now Brochu has to get underneath or around Henry Kaloff somehow as we approach lap 73. Brochu runs high, Kaloff runs high. Brochu using those fresh tires to cut down to the bottom. A little bit of a wiggle right behind that 63, but no contact made. As Bomar now all over the back end of that 98 car, as Sam Brochu tries to figure out a way to get past Henry Kaloff in that number 63. Sean Rowe all over the back end of Cole Denton, who's running a very strong second place. That's Riley Marabello in the 16, back in 7th. And Sam Brochu trying to look to the inside of Henry Kaloff. Kaloff looking to the outside of Sean Rowe. Brochu going to try to follow Rowe through the corner and maybe get an advantageous line into the corner. But a bad exit by Cole Denton now opens the door for Sean Rowe. And we have a 4-way battle for second place, as Cole Denton has to make his car as wide as possible to try and protect second place. Henry Kaloff to the inside into turns 1 and 2. Sam Brochu on the outside of Sean Rowe gets past Sean Rowe. He is now in 4th place, now to the outside of Henry Kaloff. Sam Brochu still sticking on that outside line, but Kaloff cuts him off. So shut the door firmly in his face. Kaloff does to Sam Brochu. As Brochu's having a little bit of internet issues, but that's the first time that's happened tonight. But Brochu to the outside of Kaloff entering the corner. Brochu is very strong on the outside line, pinches Kaloff down a little bit to get him uncomfortable. And he's going to have the run off the corner and a little bit of drafting help from Cole Denton. As he's not clear just yet. Kaloff trying to make a case, but is not able to stay alongside the 98. Now the 98 looking to the inside of Cole Denton. Denton comes down to block. And I think that Van Drummond is playing it very easy right now. He's just conserving his tires best he can. He knows that right now his fiercest competition is that car in 3rd place, that 98 car. And I think he wants Cole Denton to battle Brochu for as long as possible to wear out both their tires, as Denton holds the outside line, gets the run off, and holds off Sam Brochu as we hit the halfway point, lap 80 out of 160. Brochu able to get to the inside of the 46, but just can't get the run off. As Denton starting to pull in the 2 car just a little bit. I think that 2 car is playing it very conservative right now. Let the people behind him battle out and wear out their tires, and then eventually, assuming this has a long green flag run, he'll pull away to a convincing lead. As Brochu trying to work on the back end of Cole Denton in that 46. These are your top 3 drivers right now: Van Drummond, Cole Denton, and Sam Brochu. Brochu trying to run all the way on the bottom to get some corner entry speed. And Cole Denton basically doing the opposite, banking it all on exit speed. And look how much he's closed up to Van Drummond right now. But when you run up top, you burn up that right rear tire quite a lot, and that makes your car pretty loose. As Sam Brochu looks at the inside of the 46, he's there. They're side by side through the corner. This is what Van Drummond wants to see. Still side by side through the curved front stretch. As Sam Brochu dives to the inside, can't get clear of the 46 just yet. He's clear now, and the 46 will have to slink back to 3rd place. As in the back right now, we have a battle between Nicholas Martinez Jr. and Riley Marabello for 7th place right now. And looks like Marabello's going to hold off Martinez. and Andretti Robinson battling Dominic Barbagallo for the 10th spot. These two having a very fierce battle. Looks like a little bit of a loose moment from the 17, but no contact made. As the 60 hooking that bottom lane, trying to get past, but that run on the outside line is very, very prominent. A little bit of a loose moment from the 60, as he might have gassed it up just a little bit too hard. Oh, he charged the corner, nearly gets into the 17, has to back off quite a lot to avoid making contact. And that gets the 86 past the 60 as well. But the 60 trying to get back to the inside of the 86. Can't get anything just yet. As Sam Brochu looking to the outside of Van Drummond for the lead. Can't get anything done just yet. Looks like Sam Brochu might have found the line that he's best at. About half a lane above the yellow line. Seems to be working wonders for that 98 car. As both Drummond and Brochu have pulled away from Cole Denton to about 0.6 of a second. Brochu to the outside of Van Drummond, side by side, entering turn 3. Battle for the lead as Brochu and Drummond side by side. Brochu's going to have the run off the corner, but Drummond runs him all the way up to the wall. A little bit of side drafting action to keep these cars side by side as Drummond running as low as he can. Brochu giving him a lot of room, but Brochu will clear Van Drummond. But now I'm sure that the tire discrepancy between Van Drummond and Sam Brochu is going to be in full effect, as Sam Brochu had to work a lot harder to get to first position than Van Drummond had to defend it for the time being. And I think that I think that Drummond's gonna be probably a lot faster as the run goes on, since he didn't have to battle a bunch of other cars to get to the spot he was in on this green flag run. But Drummond still making insightful moves to that inside line. Can't get a nose on Brochu just yet, but a little bit of a wiggle through the center of the corner. A block and a half from Sam Brochu down the backstretch. Brochu is not giving up this spot with his life, but he might just have to. Drummond uses his better tires to get better acceleration off the corner side by side into turns 1 and 2. Drummond and Brochu, these two are battling with all of their hearts, giving each other lots of room. Still side by side down the back straight. Advantage to the 98, as the 98 is going to try to use the momentum to straighten out the corner and get the run on the 2. But no, they are still side by side for third place or fourth place between Henry Caloff and Sean Rowe. But Van Drummond stuck to the inside of the 98, looking to dive down in there again, using those fresh tires to get that car to stick. Something that Sam Brochu probably can't do. But Brochu holds off a valiant effort from the number 2 for those past couple of laps. But Drummond still running a lower line, going to have more center corner speed. And compared to Brochu, who's running a higher line, but Brochu's going to have the speed coming off the corner, since he'll be able to strain out the corner and get in the gas more. Both advantages practically negligible thanks to tire wear, as Van Drummond is slinging that thing into the corners. But Brochu doing a very good job keeping it straight, not sliding the tires and losing unnecessary momentum. But Van Drummond to the inside of Brochu gets a very good corner exit. These two side by side down the front stretch, as Sam Brochu's hanging on that outside line like a nagging issue, and almost able to clear the 2. Lots of clean racing up front, but makes you wonder how much is Van Drummond pushing, trying to get past the 98, since when you run that bottom line, you're using more of your right front tire, and that makes the car tighter and eventually slower than it would be loose, if you go by the term fast is loose. Contact between the 2 and the 98 down the front stretch, exiting turn 4. Van Drummond gets past Sam Brochu, but Brochu going to try to hook it up on the outside line. Can't get anything done as he crosses the seam, and a little bit of a wobble from that 98. And now Drummond, with about a 2.5 car length lead, is going to try and pull away. I believe that he'll be able to do it now, as I think the grip monster is starting to affect Sam Brochu. It's like he's struggling for grip on the exits of the corners, getting just a little loose. As we approach lap 100. And let's go back through the field to Riley Marabello, currently running in 7th place, getting a run on Henry Caloff. To the inside goes Marabello on the 63 of Caloff, running pretty high up for an inside line, but Caloff is running higher, so no harm, no foul. As these two are neck and neck down the front stretch. Contact between Caloff and Marabello. Oh, almost saved it. Both cars go around. Dominic Barbagallo splits the gap. We might need to find skid marks in Dominic Barbagallo's pants because the seas opened up for him. So let's get a replay of what happened there as the caution comes out on lap 101. Just give me 1 second. So looking at Dominic Barbagallo's onboard view, this is Riley Marabello and Henry Callum in front of him. Looks like Kaloff came down and wasn't expecting Marabello to be up front or to be as far up the track as he was, and they just got together. And while saving it, looks like Marabello just got into the back end of Kaloff. Yeah, just tried to save it, got into the back end of the straightened out Kaloff, and just an unfortunate chain reaction. Very, very close call for Dominic Barbagallo in that 17. But he survives. I don't think he got any damage. I don't think he made any contact, so he's a very lucky man. Might want to buy a lottery ticket. But that will bunch up the field, and if I'm not mistaken, from here on out, I don't think we'll have to worry about tires or fuel. And let me change the ticker to laps to go. 59 laps to go here as the field funnels into pit lane. Thought Riley Marabello was going to do what Blaze McKinney did and snag those pit barrels, but pulled out just in time. So let's see who comes out on top with pit strategy. If I'm not mistaken, Brochu and Drummond started not too far from each other. Pretty good stops from, pretty good entrances from both the 2 and the 98. And we'll have to see who gets off first. Oh, just barely did Van Drummond get past Sam Brochu. Sam Brochu spun up the tires a little bit on pit lane trying to get ahead of that 2 car. But no cigar for that number 98. And I'm sure that the 2 will choose the outside line, just considering how good the 98 has been on the inside or on the outside line, just to try and plug up that opportunity for a passing position. But we still have the pace car lights on, as the car in front of Van Drummond is Jonathan Baker, who is the last car on the lead lap. And I actually lied. He's 46 laps down. I forgot that he got in that accident with Evan Allen. But yeah, just getting a wave around. So he'll only need about 45 more cautions to get back to the lead lap.
Green, green, green.
It did it again. Oh my gosh. I apologize. I don't know why it didn't go back to the real time. But Van Drummond off to the lead. Sean Rowe in second with Sam Brochu in third. So it looks like Sam Brochu did not get that good of a start. That good of a restart. And he'll have to work around one car as Riley Marabello all the way to the outside of James Beaumont. Riley Marabello making it into 5th place. Cole Denton trying to look around Sam Brochu. Denton goes around. Looks like no one else got into Denton. Tough break for that 46 car. He was driving a very good race, and then looks like he just gave it a little bit too much gas, and the back end swapped ends. So let's get a second look on that. So entering the corner, he looks to the outside of Sam Brochu, and it looks like just on new tires he crossed that seam, and just the very subtle elevation change just sent that back end around. And Riley Marabella was very lucky that he did not get collected in that. A little bit of a love tap into the wall for the 46. Looks like it didn't do too much to him. Okay, we should be... Okay. This time, we will have an actual televised restart, and we won't have the green flag ticker surprising me. But much of the same, not a whole lot changed, except for Riley Marabella making his way into the top 5, with Cole Denton sliding all the way back into 18th place. So not the mistake you want to make with 53 to go, but this is Iowa. You can, especially if you're very good at running that outside line, you can make up spots rather quickly. Waiting for the base car lights to go off as the cars choose their preferred line. Oh wait, no, still not one to go yet. I don't know what Sean Rowe's doing under caution. But to be fair, these pace laps are unnecessarily long. I think they're going like 35 miles an hour, so it takes like a minute to go around the track. We approach 51 laps to go. And Van Drummond chooses the outside line. Sam Brochu, Riley Marabella, and Dominic Barbagallo choose the inside line. So maybe Brochu can get something hooked up on the outside line, and maybe he can get an equal jump to that number 2 car. You can get an equal jump to that number 2 car. You can get something moving on that bottom lane. Especially considering how they all have essentially fresh tires, since they ran less than a full lap under green to wearing these tires. But waiting for the pace car to pull into pit lane. Base car is in. Green flag is out. A big shunt from the 99 to Van Drummond to give him a big push into the lead. That gives Van Drummond about a 3-car length lead over Sean Rowe and Sam Brochu. And Sean Rowe blocks Brochu and doing a good job at holding up right now as James Bomar comes to the outside line to box Brochu in, not allowing Brochu to get to the top. As Bomar trying to work his way around the top side, trying to get to the back end of Sean Rowe, and he does, and will now drop down to the bottom to block any advances from Sam Brochu on the inside line. As Brochu looking to the inside line of Bomar, almost contact was made. Bomar had Brochu had to back out a lot to not hit that 20 car. So he slid it a lot more than he expected. As Bomar playing aggressive blocking. You're allowed to do that. There's nothing against blocking here in SRL. As Brochu looking to the outside line, trying to get something forming, but can't get it done. But Bomar looking to the outside of Sean Rowe for second place. That might be the money. That might be the money spot. That outside lane around that 99 car. As Juan Escamilla has made his way up into this mix, almost going through right with Nicholas Martinez Jr. and Riley Marabello. As Sam Brochu gets to the outside of Sean Rowe, almost a little bit of contact made. That killed his momentum off the corner. But still side by side between these two, Riley Marabello and Juan Escamilla battling hard behind these two. As Brochu's going to have the run off the corner and is going to get clear of the 99. Escamilla throws it to the outside line, trying to get it to stick. And he'll get around Sean Rowe off the corner, and he'll move up into fourth place. Nice move by that 86 car. But now the 98 has to work on catching that 20 and that 2. And it's going to be significantly harder when you have the 86 right behind you and a very aggressive 48 right behind you, as well as Martinez looks to the inside of Juan Escamilla. Escamilla has to run off the exit of the corner. And now Escamilla looking, trying to get something going on that outside. Can't get it done. And Brochu's going to block it off, slam the door right in his face. No, thank you, says Sam Brochu. As he's doing all he can to defend that podium position. While Van Drummond still holds the lead. James Bomar trying to close the distance between the two. But I think Van Drummond is playing a lot more conservative than James Bomar or Sam Brochu or the rest of these drivers. Since I've said it before, it's one thing to catch. It's one thing to catch the driver in front of you. It's a whole other thing to pass him. But looks like Nicholas Martinez Jr. is going to have a good run off of turn 2 to get to the inside of Escamilla for that is fourth spot. But a little bit of a wobble from the 48. Has to aggressively block that 99. A little bit of a bump from the 99 to the 48. The sign of displeasure. But looks like no contact other than that, so no harm done. As Van Drummond starts to slowly pull away from the rest of the field. Sean Rowe looking to the inside of Nicholas Martinez Jr. James Bomar trying to run up top. He had success earlier on in the race, running pretty high up top to strain out the corner. And that might be a viable thing as the laps wind down and tires wear in, as Sean Rowe looks to the inside of Nicholas Martinez Jr. Both drivers giving each other a lot of room. And Martinez concedes the spot, now stuck right behind that 99 car. But Van Drummond with about a 0.3 of a second lead over James Bomar. The top four running about equal time. Sam Brochu the fastest out of all of them by about a 1/10. So let's look at Sam Brochu right now. He's in a sticky situation as he's trying to not burn up his stuff to catch the people in front of him, but he's quickly running out of time as Sean Rowe looks at the inside of Juan Escamilla, muscles him out of the way. But Escamilla going to be hanging on that outside line, has to back off. And Sean Rowe will take fourth spot for himself. Looking at James Bomar, who's very, very slowly reeling in Van Drummond. They're running about equal lap times, but James Bomar is about half a 1/10 faster. So it's definitely possible that in the next couple of laps, James Bomar can be all over the back end of Van Drummond. But we might need another caution to come out as the tires are starting to wear in. As you see, Bomar's running higher and higher up to get these runs off the corner. As he gets a really good run off the exit of turns 3 and 4. Almost to the outside of the 2. And he's going to be pressed up against the back end of the 2 real soon. So this is the battle for the lead right here, as Van Drummond plays it safe and James Bomar running all the way up top. Maybe a little bit of a loose moment from Bomar as he lost a little bit of momentum, but that gap has now been cut in half. Now down to just over a tenth of a second. These drivers almost nose to tail. But Drummond doing a very good job at holding off James Bomar right now. Bomar, who has had a lot of unluckiness. This would be a perfect time to for redemption as he hits the wall a little bit. But looks like that didn't hurt his momentum too much, as he's still within 0.2 of Van Drummond and has pulled away to about 0.3 over Sam Brochu. So maybe trying to regain some lost time from hitting that wall, as he's searching higher and higher up for more speed. And I think he got really loose in the center of the corner, had to back out of it because he just lost about 0.4 on Van Drummond, and that's gonna bring Sam Brochu up to him. So I think running that far up has burnt up that right rear of James Bomar, as in the back, Riley Marabello looking to battle with Nicholas Martinez Jr. These two battling side by side. Maybe a little bit of contact, a little bit of a wiggle from the 16 of Marabello, as Dominic Barbagallo looks to follow the 16 through. Big wiggles from the 48. Nice save by Martinez to not right hook the 16 into the wall. Good car control by that 48, but he's gonna have to give up 2 positions, maybe even 3, depending on how Henry Kaloff can attack this. As the caution comes out, and I believe at the time of that, Sam Brochu was passing James Bomar, as I think Andretti Robinson might have gotten in an accident. So let's check out what happened. So you're currently looking at Andretti Robinson right now, battling with Caleb McKinney, and it looks like McKinney came down not expecting Andretti Robinson to run that middle lane, and essentially just a miscommunication. And Andretti Robinson does a good job to save it. The car's still tracking down, and then it hits the transitioning and bottoms out, and then just starts sliding. Once you hit that transitioning, you kind of lose all grip. But looks like no damage to any car. Maybe besides a bruised ego, but Aiden McNeely has made his way up into the top spot, looking to get his point for leading. As we will have to see how pit road shakes out, as it looks like Bomar has reclaimed his spot from Sam Brochu. So 27 laps to go here. As we are still under caution. Please stand by for just 1 second, as I have something I need to check real quick. Okay, I apologize for that. I just had to take care of something. But we are still under caution here at Iowa with 26 laps to go. As Aiden McNeely pulls into pit lane, I think. Or not. Is Aiden McNeely really going to... There's no way, right? Aiden McNeely stays out. He's on 33 lap older tires than Van Drummond and the rest of the field. Now, I'm no Harold Camping, but I think this spells disaster for the field if the speed between the 21 and the rest of the field is misjudged and they go in a lot harder. I think this could be a costly mistake for that 21 car. Or maybe he's just a genius that I don't know about. Either way, Aiden McNeely is your control car as he elects the inside line, and he's going to lead the field to the restart. Space truck is in. Green flag is out. The field stacks up a little bit. Aiden McNeely with a good start. Maybe a little bit of wheel spin. But Sam Brochu is all over him. Brochu looking to the inside of McNeely. And McNeely shoots up to the top. Lets everyone by. That's probably the best thing you could do in that situation. But now Brochu. Battling with Van Drummond for the lead. This is I think exactly what Brochu needed. And still side by side. Can't get the two off his quarter panel as they dive into turn one, almost dead equal. But Brochu has more grip on that bottom lane. But Sean Rowe, a little bit of a wiggle from the 98. No, save it, brother. Caution is out, and that is heartbreaking for the 98. That's something you hate to see. I don't think we need a replay for that. The 98 just lost it. He's got to be kicking himself right now, seeing that. That was a shame, and that's gonna be tough. Getting back to the lead. He's going to need a pretty big wreck. And of course not get in said wreck to get back in position. But I don't think there's a happier person in the world right now than Van Drummond. Seeing his number one rival for the race give it a little bit too much and spin out. As Aiden McNeely has pulled into pit lane. Okay. Pace truck lights are still on, so we are not 1 to green just yet. But if I'm not mistaken, this time by the pace car lights will go off, and we will be 1 to green. Yep, pace car lights are off. Van Drummond elects to choose the outside line. Riley Marabello has made his way into the top 5, currently in. Well, it says P3. He's the second car on the inside line. And Sean Rowe on the outside line. So, let's see what magic Sean Rowe can weave to possibly get around that 2 car. And James Bomar, known for running the top here for seems like most of the race. Gonna choose the inside line. So maybe he thinks he can have an equal shot at the start. Pace car's in. Green flag is out.
Green flag.
Bomar was not even close to being side by side with the two. That just basically gave Drummond an easy pass. But now Sean Rowe to the back end of Van Drummond as the field spreads out just a little bit. Sean Rowe going to have to make something work on that number 2 car as Riley Marabello rides the outside line. And there's Cole Den getting up into the top 5 around Nicholas Martinez Jr. But I think the car to beat on these short runs was Van Drummond, and his main rival, which was Sam Brochi, was all the way in the back. So Sean Rowe is going to have to try some heroics here to get past that 2 car as Riley Marabello rides the outside line and gets past James Bomar. But Van Drummond doing a very good job at maintaining the lead as Sean Rowe looks like he might have overcooked the corner just a little bit. These two still nose to tail, less than 0.2 of a second separate first and second. As Sean Rowe looks like they got about an equal corner exit. The field thins itself out. I mean, not singles itself out. But Sean Rowe is still all over the back end of Van Drummond. I think he'll have to make some sort of crazy move to get past that 2 car. Oh, as I heard some screeching. Yeah, caution is out. I heard some screeching in my headphones. I don't know who it is for. The marshals are saying it's for Aaron Schugel. So, he's definitely driving slow. So let's get a replay real quick of what happened to that 91 car. So, entering turns 3, it looks like Aaron Schugel, got a bump from the 98. Guess different braking points between the 98 and the 91. Got a bump from the 98, and that just was too much for the 91's car to handle, and backs it into the outside wall. Looks like not a lot of damage to that 91 car, but I bet he's not happy with being hit from the rear. But now we have to see if anyone is going to take tires. Because it's been about 30 laps? About 30 laps since the last caution. Or it was about 30 laps to go on that last restart. I was actually... So they've been on 13 lap old tires. I think if you're near the back, it might be worth trying to run a gamble to try and pit. Let's see if anyone pulls into pit lane. It looks like it's just Traver Burns and Aaron Schugel for right now. But pace car lights are off. Don't mind Jonathan Baker. He's 46 laps down. And let me get this off your screen. I'm sure you know who Van Drummond is. But James Bomar on the inside. Hopefully he'll be side by side with that 2 car again on the restart. Maybe a little bit of a misstep from that 20. But pace car is about to pull into pit lane.
Green, green, green.
And Bomar, not a very good start. Stacks up the inside line just a little bit. Sean Rowe able to clear himself from Bomar as Riley Marabello ripping the top on the outside to try and get past Bomar. It looks like 3 wide car around in the back. That is That is Sam Brochu. As the caution comes out, I saw a Sam Brochu sideways. So let's see if we can get another replay on that. So looking at Sam Brocher right now in the middle of your screen, the number 98 car, 3 wide with Joseph Lewis and McNeely, and it looks like Aiden McNeely just drifted up the corner a little bit and accidentally tapped the 98, which also put the 28 into the wall. Good avoidance by that 91 of Aaron Schugel to not hit the 98, but he does clip the wall a little bit to try and avoid the 98. Tough luck. A race gone from good to bad to pretty terrible now for Sam Brochu. As we have 10 laps to go here. Pace car lights should be off this time by, if I'm not mistaken. So looks like Sean Rowe, Riley Marabello, and Van Drummond all like to use the outside lines. That puts James Bomar back on the inside line. Bomar just hasn't been getting very good starts on that inside line. I don't know if it's something with his just the way the car interacts with the banking down there. But he's just not been able to get as good starts as the 2 has. Also, the 99 has been given the 2 very good pushes. As I think Cole Denton is pushing the 20 a little bit, saying, get a little closer to the 2. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. Contact between the 46 and the 20. A better start from Bomar this time, as Sean Rowe is not able to clear himself from the 20, as Riley Marabello thought about making it 3 wide all the way on the outside, couldn't get it done, and now Sean Rowe and Van Drummond are clear from traffic. So now it looks like it's a 2-car battle right now, but Riley Marabello making a charge on that outside line around James Bomar. He gets the pass completed. 7 laps to go here at Iowa. Drummond misses the corner just a little bit. Sean Rowe looking to the inside, all over the back bumper of Van Drummond. Very lucky no contact was made. Sean Rowe looking to get a win. I believe he got one at Atlanta, and looking to cement superiority over the absent James Thurston. What a way to do it if he could win here. But he's going all out, all over the back end of Van Drummond. Riley Marabello gets a bad corner exit. So for right now, it's just the 2 and the 99. 99 all over the back end. Almost contact made between the bumpers of these 2 drivers, as Sean Rowe looks to the inside. 5 laps to go here at Iowa to conclude the Newton 200, as Van Drummond valiantly holds the outside line, getting a good run off the corner to prevent Sean Rowe from pulling alongside. Sean Rowe maintaining a consistent gap, but Riley Marabello might spoil the party and cause Van Drummond to pull away. Rowe hooking the bottom as best as he can, and Drummond doing a very good job running a little bit higher up to maximize corner exit. But still, nose to tail, these 2 drivers and Riley Marabello. These 3 cars could be under a blanket as Marabello looks to the outside line. Slow entry for Drummond. Rowe looks to the outside line. Drummond shuts the door. 3 laps to go here. Coming to 2 to go. Riley Marabello all the way up top. Can't get anything right now on Sean Rowe. 2 laps to go. What can Sean Rowe do to pass Van Drummond? Nose to tail, these 2 drivers. Looks like Drummond parked the bus a little bit on Sean Rowe. A little bit of a wobble from that 2 car. The 99 has to make a move to the inside. Goes Sean Rowe. Riley Marabello on the outside line. Contact almost made between the 2 and the 99. White flag in the air for Van Drummond. He has 0.85 miles to hold off Sean Rowe and Riley Marabello. Sean Rowe dives it into the corner, gets a good entrance and a good exit. We have Reckon in the back, but we have a battle to the line. Sean Rowe, final corners. Can he make a bump on the 2? A bump is made. Another bump is made. But Sean Rowe cannot make it, and Van Drummond pulls off an amazing defense of first place and will take home victory. What a finish here at Iowa. My heart was in my chest trying to commentate that. Because, wow, that was pretty good. So, let's get to your finishing order right now. Winning here in the Newton 200 is Van Drummond in that number 2. Sean Rowe in the 99, just short, almost had it. Made 2 bumps through that corner, could not get it done. Riley Marabello, your final podium position and your final interviewee. Great run for him. Had some mistakes early on in the race, but a very good recovery drive. James Bomar finishing in 4th. Cole Denton, a very respectable 5th place. Juan Escamilla started 2nd, finished in 6th place. Henry Kaloff in 7th. Nicholas Martinez Jr. in 8th. Wyatt Roberts, a very quiet 9th place finish. Top 10 always helps in the playoffs. And Aaron Schugel rounds out your top 10. First driver outside the top 10 is Sam Broach, who led a lot of the early race, and then it went downhill from there, finishing out in 11th. Dominic Barbagallo in 12th in that number 17. Joseph Lewis in 13th in that number 28. Caleb McKinney in the 76th in 14th. Quiet day from Trevor Burns. Started in the back, finishes in 15th. Aiden McNeely had his moment in the spotlight when he started up front on a late race restart, cycles all the way back to 16th place. Evan Allen in 17th. Andretti Robinson slides back to 18th place, and that is your last of the finishing cars. Jonathan T. Baker ran a couple of laps while 40 laps down, and at 19th place, McKinney hit the pit barrels from 3rd place and is your last driver in the top 20. First driver outside the top 20 is Michael Deitch in the 57. And then Amir Bascombe and Logan Hasper got disqualified on, I believe, lap 30. And then Bo Krebs did not start the race. So, in just a fleeting moment, we will be doing driver interviews. So please stand by for just one moment. Okay, we welcome you back to the SRL Blaze Designs Cup Series race at Iowa. And I need to find Van Drummond real quick. So give me 1 second to pull him into the booth. Okay, we got first place finisher Van Drummond holding off a very valiant charge to come away with the victory. Tell us what was going through your mind in those last couple of laps. Were you expecting a big send from that 99?
Yeah, but I've raced Sean a lot, and we're always in VC together. I didn't expect him to, pull an Austin Dillon on me, but, maybe I expected a bumper or like a send to maybe get there. But, he raced really clean. I appreciate Sean for that, but dude, I was when that caution came out that started the string of yellows and pushing hard. I was like, damn it, why's it gotta come out? Because like my car was fine on the short run, but like it wasn't better than most on the short run. It got really good to the medium to the long run, but Jesus, this car was bad fast, and I don't think I've had such comfort at 2 tracks before. Like I hate these 2 racetracks, but apparently they like me, so it feels like a one-sided relationship. But you know what? If that's how that's how it be. I mean, that's how it be, I guess. I'd rather it be I hate this racetrack and I'd be good at it rather than I like this racetrack and suck at it. So I guess that's
yeah.
positive.
I mean that's a very good mindset to have. So during the race, I was hypothesizing like what your strategy was being, since I know that for most of the race you had Sam Brochu all over you. So when Sam Brochu was pulling through the field, was your goal just to try and conserve and try to outlive his tires?
My goal was just to get down to the yellow line as best I could. I mean, I think that was the name of the game for me. Most people kind of run in the middle or like kind of not running on the bottom and kind of washing up. I was low exit off every corner. I was just, the bottom's kind of my best friend in iRacing. Like Texas last week, you just had to rip the bottom, and then we see what happened there. But yeah, the bottom was just my best friend, and it just kind of, it didn't. It kind of guided my car on what it needed to do. Like, once I did one thing a little too much, I'm like, okay, well, back it down just a hair, and then the next lap it was smooth sailing each lap. So I was just trying to, get a low exit, save that rear tire. I still wasn't doing a great job saving the rear tire. Every pit stop, I was about 3% difference on the right sides, but just the temps were kind of even, so which is kind of what matters. But overall, it was I mean, considering the other Iowa races we've had in SRL, this is a great improvement. So, I mean, good job to the drivers out there. We kind of had a mess a little bit towards the end of the race, but I mean, I think that's just people vying for spots on a hard track to pass at. So, good job to the SRL guys, and I'm kind of just looking forward to Watkins Glen next week. Now that I got rid of the boot, I'm even more excited. So, let's roll.
All right. With all that said, do you have any people or sponsors you want to thank before we let you go and celebrate?
I mean, I don't really got much to say. Cole's always a good pep talker in there. We always chat through the race, discussing what we should do. So thank you to him, and let's go to the Glen.
All right. Well, you heard it from the man himself. That is Van Drummond rounding out a very solid win here and a very good defense of the top spot. We'll see you next time, buddy.
All right, see you, man.
All right, and let me see if I can get our second place driver, Sean Rowe, in second place. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
So tell us what was going through your mind on those last couple of laps on the last restart. Were you thinking about giving your friend Van Drummond the good old bump, or were you trying to play a little nice?
I definitely thought about it, but I know the Van Drugman. He's a nice feller, and I wasn't trying to do anything that compromised my championship shot, and I'm not trying to race dirty when I've always raced clean with him, and he's always raced clean with me. I mean, I tried a little bump here or there, try to see if I could move him a little bit, but nothing that was gonna just completely dump him and take him out. But I was just trying to see if I could get my way there. I know I didn't need a win as much as it would have been nice to get a win. It's not needed, so I wasn't pushing it too much as to where I'm like, I need to get this for advancing. I knew a P2 would help me get a one-up on the Jimmy Thurston. So I just tried taking it smart, and I think it worked out pretty well.
Well, something that I noticed about midway through the race is that your opponent for this round was James Thurston, and he didn't show up. What was your reaction to that? Not seeing that '96 car in the field.
I definitely wasn't complaining. I got news that he was in a race by some, I don't really know this guy. So I think he's kind of unknown. This IDK player feller.
I don't know
I'm
him.
pretty sure don't know him. I got news that he was doing that race. So I wasn't too shocked and I wasn't too mad when I realized he wasn't in the race. But I mean, I'm not complaining. He could go out and whip my butt the next 2 weeks, and I'm not sitting as happy as I am right now. But we'll see if that happens.
Well, with your luck, the next two tracks are Watkins Glen and Talladega. So one of those tracks is definitely a big roulette wheel. But before we let you go to celebrate your second place finish, do you have any people you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Zachary Todriff for putting me on the team of PBR. I want to thank you guys for broadcasting these races live. I want to thank Alexander Schumacher for putting up this league. I want to thank Flappa and James Belmar for being my great teammates during this race. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, that is second place finisher Sean Rowe, a very strong second place. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen, buddy.
See you next week.
Okay. And now let's see if I can grab Riley Marabella real quick. So give me 1 second. Since they're not in the booth, they're in their own little chat. So I'm just going to steal him from his chat. Okay, we got third place driver Riley Marabello in the 16. You got a copy?
Yes, I do, Mr. Garrett Hess. I sure do.
I apologize for snagging you from your voice chat, but I want to know what happened early on in the race. You went a lap down. I saw a couple of slides from you. Was just the car not hooking up for you like it was late in the race?
I don't know. Just skill issue, plain and simple. I had no practice at all, and I was not prepared for how loose this race car was going to be. And I binned it like 3 or 4 times. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. I just lost talent. Like last week at Texas.
Well, you certainly learned from your mistakes and got a top 3 result from it. What was your strategy for the last restart? Were you trying to get that outside line all the way up top to work to your advantage, or maybe you hope that it was a send gone wrong between Sean Rowe and Van Drummond?
Kind of both of those, actually. I had seen the 990 trying to hit the 2 on the bottom there, try to get him loose or move him up the racetrack while I was ripping the top side. So if that did happen, they both slowed up for whatever reason, I could just run right on by him. But even if that didn't happen, I was kind of locked in up top trying to dig. I think I eventually got close to being side-by-side with him with about 2 to go, but I ended up getting loose out of turn 4. So unfortunately, I finished 3rd out of it after a very messy night here at Iowa. Not my proudest race. I apologize to anybody I might have crashed or hit or whatnot. Not my intent whatsoever. But yeah, that's kind of what happened. Just all that.
All right. With that said, do you have any people or sponsors you want to thank before I let you go and celebrate your 3rd place finish?
Yeah, just everybody at Spino Esports. It was announced like last week, I think, that Spino Esports will be shutting down at the end of the year. This is our last season in SRL, my last season in SRL. So thanks for them for supporting me through 3 seasons, and my teammate Sambroshu, and just Spino Designs, and I guess everybody who watches.
Well, you heard it from the man himself. That's Riley Marabello rounding out a very solid recovery drive and a very solid 3rd place finish. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Thank you, Garrett.
Okay, so with that out of the way, let me get this out of your face. So, with that said and done, that concludes today's broadcast of the Newton 200 here at Iowa Speedway. I'm your host, Garrett Hess. Big shout out to SK Graphics for ticker help. If you have a ticker and you need help, go to SK Graphics. Big thank you to Andrew Schulte for his help in making this possible. And I need to thank you, the viewer, for listening to my rambling. But with all of that said and done, y'all